Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Rudy Banks, your host of the Entrepreneur Journey. Today I've got a nice tip for you. If you're looking to buy, your first property, your first home, and you got to have a certain amount of money as a down payment, but then there are associated costs, things like what we call closing costs. So if you want a tactic that I use to help minimize the amount of money you got to come out of pocket, you might be scraping just to get your down payment. If you're in that boat, stay tuned. I got a tip for you. It's going to definitely help you out when you go to purchase your next property. See you in a second. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm on Zillow.com, and if you don't know what closing costs are, when you have a property, there are things that has to happen before that transaction can take place. It's not just, you see a property and then, you just go hand money over and acquire that property. To do it by the book, you should be doing a title search and ensuring that that property doesn't have any liens against it. The previous owner could have did a refinance, or they could have took out a home equity line of credit. They could have did an 80-20 loan structure, and it's just a lot of little things that need to be checked out before you acquire that property. Because the worst thing you don't want to happen is, you go to buy the property, you think you're all good, you move in, and then someone comes knocking on your door saying, hey, the previous owner didn't pay me for this service, or they didn't pay for this loan. And now you got to come up with 10, 15, 20, 50, whatever that amount of they took out against that home as collateral. You don't want to do that. That's a bad situation. And so when it comes to title search, and there's attorney fees, escrow fees, all these different fees that have to be reconciled before you can finish your closing. So according to Zillow, the seller can expect to spend 8 to 10% of the sale price on closing cost fees, and then the buyer can expect to spend 10 to 5%. Now you imagine, I remember me and my wife, when we first stepped up into our first $300,000, plus home, just getting that down payment, a lot of times they're like, you got to come up with 20%. Banks have relaxed a little bit based on the type of loans. Some of them might require 10%, 5%. You can go maybe as low as 3%. So one tactic that we employ was, okay, we're stepping up in this home. We definitely have enough to do the down payment. Sometimes people can go out and have somebody gift them money to help them come up the rest of the cash. You can't go out and buy, or you can't go out and take out a loan just for a down payment. That's a double negative. And so if you have a family member that's going to give you some money, you just have to have them put that in writing that, hey, I'm giving this person as a gift X amount of dollars, and they can gift up to a certain dollar amount per year to be legal before it becomes a 1099 tax type issue. Long story short, what we did was we offered the seller the full asking price of the property. Now, like I said in another video, you definitely want to buy low and in a good neighborhood. You don't want to buy at the top of the market. You don't want to buy the best house in the neighborhood, because you don't have any upside. If you want to fix it up or get some appreciation later, you have less headroom. So what we did, we found a property that was slightly below market value. We offered the full asking price. In return, we wanted the seller to cover the closing costs, and that saved us a lot of money out of pocket. And so we might have paid a little more for the house, but in the same return, we didn't have to come out of pocket when we were cash, and we were able to get that property and move in, do our renovations. We've since sold that property because we moved to another state, but we came out on top. So that's a tactic technique that you can employ. Again, make sure the property is priced properly. Give them full asking price, or maybe a little bit lower, and ask them to cover your closing costs. Hopefully this helped you. This is something I've done and it worked. If you want to learn more about investing in real estate, I've shared some videos in the past. I've shared some books that changed my life. Robert Kiyosaki. All the information is below. Books that changed my life. And then if you want to learn more about real estate training, the link's below. Grant Cardone does a great job. I mean, you can go to upper echelon training programs, or he has books and training programs under I think what, 100 some bucks. So you can get into that, learn about how to evaluate a property, learn how to buy the property, find a property, and do it the right way. Don't make the mistakes early on, because real estate, you can definitely make money, but just don't, you got to be wise in the choices you make. You make money when you buy the property. That's when you're making your money, because you're looking at properties in the right location, and you're looking at the price you're getting into it at. So if you get in too high, you got less margin to make improvements and potentially flip or sell it later. So that's the key. You make money in real estate when you buy. Don't make that mistake without getting some proper training. So check out the resource below. If the content was helpful for you, make sure you comment below. I love to hear from you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll continue to bring you more great content. And I'll see you in another video. Peace.